Welcome back to the Ultimate Dallas Sports Show. Last week we introduced a new game. This week we are doing the same. It's top 5 Scotty Scheffler memes. I'm kidding. It's a game we like to call Which is More Likely?
And now it's time for Which is More Likely, sponsored by the Fort Worth Convention and Visitors Bureau.
All right, the name of the game is pretty much exactly what you'd expect. I will present our panelists with a pair of scenarios and we discuss which is more likely. The rules are simple, so let's get into it with our first scenario, and this pairs nicely with our discussion so far. Which is more likely, the Mavs advance to the NBA Finals or the Stars advance to the Stanley Cup Final? Jonah, we'll start with you.
Stars, just for the reasons we spoke about in the previous segment. I feel like the toughest teams they could possibly face are behind them. And so if, whoever they face next, I feel like that's an easier opponent than the Mavericks.
Saad, your thoughts?
Yeah, I would go with Stars as well. And then, just to piggyback on Bob's last point, when your goaltender is giving you a play that Jake Ottinger is, it's hard to bet against that.
And then Bob, last thing, any dissension here? Are you with them?
No, it's absolutely the Stars. The Mavs have probably reached their ceiling. It would be cool to be wrong, but the Stars are not near their ceiling yet.
So with the Stars, the Mavs, the Rangers winning the World Series, I suppose it's time we take a little nod to the Mr. Irrelevant of the city right now, and that is the Dallas Cowboys. With our second scenario, this is Dak's last year in Dallas, or Mike McCarthy gets fired mid-season. Saad, why don't you start us off on this one?
Boy, that's a tough one. I'll go with this is Dak's last year in Dallas is probably a little bit more likely just because of it's a two-way street. I think the Mike McCarthy decision is a one-man decision. I think where we might be discounting the fact that Dak might look to walk after this season if things don't go right.
Bob, what do you think?
Yeah, I would probably go the opposite, even though I don't know that either is particularly likely. But I would say, given the Kirk Cousins business and the Jared Goff business we just witnessed, I think the league is telling you if you have a quarterback who's anywhere close to MVP level or All-Pro level, you don't let him walk at age 30. And I think that would be nuts. But I can find another coach, and that's probably the way I would go.
I think my question in this is, though, if the season goes sideways, who gets it? And most of that's probably going to land on Dak's shoulders and McCarthy to some degree, because Dak will likely not be performing in those games. So does that not play into the same conversation then? Jonah, what do you think?
I think the mid-season is the caveat there. I think it's just more likely that McCarthy gets fired than Dak leaving, period. Mid-season makes this a little bit harder. I just don't see them making a move kind of in season like that. But when it comes down to between quarterback and coach, I think keeping Dak is more likely.
All right. And with that, I suppose let's keep the Cowboys on the docket with our final scenario.
We can't have a sports show without the Cowboys,
Of
right?
course. We've spent literally 20 minutes talking about the Mavs and Stars, so it's time to at least bring up the Cowboys and our favorite topic, Scotty Scheffler this week. Which is more likely, Jerry Jones sells the Cowboys or Louisville PD releases the body cam footage of Scotty Scheffler's arrest? Bob, can you lead us off on this one?
Those are 2 zeros, aren't they? I don't know if I give you one, but Scotty, all charges will be dropped, before many people even see this, and Jerry will certainly never sell the team. So I'm going to cop out and say you just presented 2 zeros to me.
Well, it's not no fence riding, so I can't yell at you for that one. Saad, what's your thought?
Yeah, I mean, even I don't know if whatever the case of the footage is or the charges, anything is more likely than Jerry selling the Cowboys.
That's fair enough. I'm just sitting here saying we had a report this morning that the body cam footage, that there was none, even though the box was checked on the official report. So it seems a little interesting that Louisville PD, who's already stepped their foot in this a little bit over the last few years, is dealing with it again.
Moment of silence for Officer Gillis's pants that were destroyed beyond repair. In value of what? Was it $80?
$80.